Hello everyone. So today in this video I am going to discuss about what do you mean by equivalence partitioning. So as we already know that equivalence partitioning is the another technique of black box testing. Okay. So in my previous video I have discussed about error guessing technique. So now today's in this video I am going to discuss about equivalence partitioning technique. So let's start. So what do you mean by equivalence partitioning? So first of all, I am giving you one very basic example. Suppose equivalence partitioning says that suppose there is a text field. Suppose let's say there is a text field. So it's a text field and my requirement says that in that text field, it is only acceptable. The acceptable value is 1 to let's say 500. So this is my acceptable value. So only accepted digit, we can say that only accepted digit is 1 to 500. So in between 1 to 500, any digit are accepted in this text field. Okay. So now how can we test that? So what we will do normally, basically what we will do, we will check one by one. Like first in that text field, first we will put 1, then we will put 2, then we will put 3, then we will put 4, then we will put 5, like that. Okay, so like that we will test. So like that we will test, but it's not the correct way. So suppose my requirement says that in that text field it is only accepted digits are 1 to 500. So in that purpose, if we put every time 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 until 500, if we put 500 digits, and then we can say that yes, my field is working perfectly fine, but that not a correct way. Then how can we test that? So that is the reason we will use equivalence partitioning. So equivalence partitioning says that if there is such type of requirement are there, lots of validation we have to check. So for that purpose, what we will do, we will divide that whole digit by classes. So we will divide those that thing by classes. So we will divide. So divide by classes. Okay, we will divide by classes. Now how we will divide it this by classes? So first what we will do, like the concept for the equivalence partitioning is, suppose 1 to 500 digit are accepted in this text field, then what we will do, first we will try minus 100 to 0. Okay, then what we will do, then 0 to 100. Then what we will do, then 101 to 200, then 201 to 300, then 301 to 400. Okay, then 401 to 500, then 501 to 600. So means we are putting 500 digits by checking that text field, but now we will divide that thing by classes. So only 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 classes are there. So instead of doing that 500 digit, so we will divide that by 7 classes only. Now what we will do, first for that, so 1 minus 100 to 0. So minus 100 to 0, we have to take any digit. Suppose we are taking like minus 80. So minus 80, is that accepted value? No, because the range is 1 to 500, and here minus 80. So this is invalid. So we can say that it's a invalid test cases. Invalid test case, or we can say it's a fail. Test case fail, because the only accepted values are 1 to 500, but here minus 80. Okay, then coming to the next one, 0 to 100, we will take any value. Suppose we are taking 52. Okay, so 52 is the valid. 52 is the valid, yes, because 52 is in between 1 to 500. So we will put 52 in that text field and we will check that 52 is accepted or not. Yes, 52 is accepted. That means we can say it's a valid test case, or we can say like it's a pass. We can say that test case is pass. Again, for 101 to 200, we will 101 to 200. So we will take any value. Suppose we are taking 131. So 131 is accepted. Yes, 131 is accepted, because again it is in between 1 to 500. So it's a valid test case. We can write like valid test case, or we can say it's a pass. It is accepted. Again, we will check for 201 to 300. So we are taking any value like 240. So 240 is the valid. Yes, 240 is in between 1 to 500. So 240 is the valid. We can again write that it's a valid test case, or it's a pass test case. Right? Same for 301. 301, we will take any value like 322. 322 is in between 1 to 500. We will put 322 in that text field and we will check that 322 value is accepted value or not. Yes, it's accepted value. Then we can say like it's a valid test case. Then, or we can say like it's a pass. Again, for 401 to 500, we'll take any value like 460. So 460 is the valid. Yes, 460 is the valid, because 460 is also in between 1 to 500 digits. So 460 is a valid. So we can say that it's a valid test case. Valid test case, or we can say like write pass. Now we will check 501 to 600. So we will take any value in between 501 to 600. Suppose we are taking 570. 570 is the valid. No, because my range, my requirement says that text field is only accepted 1 to 500 digits. So the range should be in between 1 to 500. So any value we are checking for the text field, that should be 1 to 500. But here 570. So it's out of range. That's why it's not accepted. So we can say like it's a invalid. It's a invalid test case, or we can say like it's a fail, right? So normally what is happening here? So as my requirement says that any text field, suppose it's a text field, suppose it is a text field, it is a text field. So it's a text field. So in that text field, my requirement says that text field only accepted value 1 to 500. So 1 to 500 digits are accepted for the text field value. So what we will do? We will put 1 and we have to check that it's accepted or not. Then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then up to 500. So we have to put 500 digits, 500 times. We have to put that in the text field and we have to validate that it's accepted or not. But it's a very lengthy process. So it's a not good practice and it will take more time. So we have to overcome that. How we will overcome? We will use equivalence partitioning, or also we can say that it's a equivalence class partitioning. Equivalence partitioning, or we can say like it's a equivalence class partitioning. Equivalence class partitioning, because we are dividing that thing by different classes. So instead of putting 500 digits, we are only checking by based on only 7 test cases. So if there is, if the new requirement says some new requirement has come and it says that the text field value is only accepted value is 1 to 5000, then we have to, if normally we'll check, we'll put 5000 value means 5000 times, but it's a lots of time. Okay, so by doing that, we are not using that kinds of validation. We will divide it by different classes. So we will take, or we can divide the whole thing by classes. So only these classes will be available. So by that classes we can easily test that. So now your question, one question will be arise in your mind that my requirement says that it is 1 to 500. Then why we are taking minus 100 to 0 or 501 to 600? So these are out of bound. Why we are taking that? Answer is that because we have to check that. Obviously we are putting 1, so 1 is accepted. Then obviously whenever we are go for any negative testing, then we have to put some negative value. Then how we can put some negative value? Obviously we have to check that that field is, so we have to put suppose 0. So we are putting 0 in that text field. 0 is acceptable? No, because 0 is out of range. My requirement says that it should be 1 to 500. So that's why I am taking minus 100 to 0. We have to check in between the value 1 minus 100 to 0, that is accepting or not in that text field. That shouldn't accept. So that's why it's an invalid test case. Same for that 501 to 600. So it's also out of range. Okay, so that's why it's a invalid test cases. So now that is the concept of equivalence partitionings, or we can say it's a equivalence class partitioning. So here we will divide the range of various classes, and from each classes we are testing for a single value. We are testing for a single value. If it is pass, then the whole class will pass, and if it is fail, then the whole class will fail. Suppose in that text field we are putting 52. If the 52 is accepted, that means we can say that the whole test cases will be accepted. That's why equivalence partitioning came, right? So we have to put only one digit, test that text field in that range. So the range is 0 to 100. So we are putting 52 in that text field. So if the 52 is accepted, that means we can blindly say that 0 to 100. It's not 0, it should be 1. It should be 1 because it should be 1. Be 1. I am putting it like 1 because already minus 100 to 0 I am putting here. So that should be 1 to 100. So 1 to 100. So in between 1 to 100 value, so there is 100 values are there. So we will put only one value in that text field. If that one value is accepted, that means we can say that whole value is accepted. The whole range value is accepted. Same for that. The range is 101 to 200. So we are putting 131 in that text field. 131. If 131 is accepted in that text field, that means we can say that the whole value, the whole range value will be accepted in that text field. Okay, so we will take only one value. We will take only one digit from each of the classes. If the one value is accepted in the class, then we can say that whole range will be passed. Whole classes will be passed. But if one value is fail, then the whole classes will be fail. So what we are doing here? So basically here we will divide the range by various classes, and from each of classes we are testing for a single value. If that single value is passed, then we can say that whole class will pass. If it is fail, then the whole class will be fail. Okay. So what then? Now you guys are very much clear about what do you mean by equivalence partitioning. Now, what is the advantage of that? So advantage is that it will take, we can save lots of time by using equivalence partitioning or equivalence class partitioning. So we will save lots of time and we will get a good test coverage. These are the advantage of the equivalence partitioning. Okay, so we can save lots of time and we will get a good test coverage. Okay, and also guys, it's a very important questions for interview. Maximum interviewer can ask you that what do you mean by equivalence partitioning, and also it's a very confusing thing. Okay, so if you are if you are first time, if you are trying to get that what do you mean by equivalence partitioning, so most of the time you will get fail, right? So I am giving you, I have already what I am saying, it's a very easy way, very understandable way. So I think you can easily gap that what do you mean by equivalence partitioning. Okay, so I think it will be very, I think this video will be very helpful to you. If yes, one thumbs up. And if you have any doubt, please comment me, share this channel to your friends and subscribe to my channel EduPaat and clicking on the bell icon. So see you in the next videos with the another black box testing technique. Thank you.